I am the conscience in the heart of all creatures. I am their beginning, their being, their end. I am the mind of the senses. I am the radiant sun among lights. I am the song in sacred lore. I am the king of deities. I am the priest of great seeds. This is how Lord Krishna describes God in the Holy Gita. Unto most Hindus, he is the God himself, the supreme being, or the Purana Purushottama. Krishna is a major god of the Hindu pantheon and considered the eighth incarnation of Vishnu. He is perhaps the most popular of all the heroes of Hindu mythology. Krishna's adventures appear in the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Harivamsa, and the sacred texts known as the Puranas, where he is described as the supreme being and creator of the universe. The family of Lord Krishna, according to traditional Krishna, belonged to the Yadava, a pastoral race, and the god's birth is described in the Mahabharata. One day, Vishnu, the great Hindu god, pulled two hairs from his own head, one white and one black. The black hair was planted into the womb of Devaki, a princess of the city of Mathura. And so Krishna was born into the Pandava family, his earthly father being Vasudeva. Unfortunately for Krishna, his mother's brother Kamsa had been warned that Devaki's eighth child would kill him. And so Kamsa determined to murder the eighth child, a crime he had already carried out 7 times before Krishna was born. Fortunately, Vasudeva took the precaution of hiding Krishna in the remote village of Vrindavana, where the boy was brought up as a simple cowherd and stirred the hearts of many gopis. Krishna's dual role is as the punisher of human deeds but also as a bringer of enlightenment. Krishna's foster parents at Vrindavana were Nanda and Yasoda. His sister is Subhadra and his brother Balarama. Krishna's favorite wife was Radha, with whom he had a son Pradyumna and daughter Karumadi. But tradition has it that the god actually acquired 16,000 wives and fathered 180,000 sons. Queen Rukmini, an earthly form of the goddess Lakshmi, is considered Krishna's second most favored wife after Radha. Krishna was involved in many actions in his adventurous youth. Notable amongst these are his various killing and thrashing of prominent enemies such as the dangerous Putana, the giant bull Danava, the giant snake Kalia, and the king of the Hayas. Also swiftly dealt with was the scheming tyrant Kamsa, after whose beheading Krishna established himself as king of Mathura. Krishna slew many demons and demon kings, Muru and his 7,000 sons, Pralamba, who Krishna beat up using only his fists, Naraka, son of the earth, and who had accumulated a harem of 16,000 captured women, and the sea demon Pankajana, who looked like a conch shell and who lost his magic shell to Krishna, which the hero carried thereafter and used as a trumpet. Krishna also found time to lift the mountain Govardhana to foil a terrible deluge sent by Indra to conquer Saubha, the floating city of the Titans, got the better of the sea god Varuna, and even managed the steel, the divine discus possessed by the fire god Agni. Against merry mortals, Krishna also wreaked havoc amongst the Gandharas, Bhojas, and Kalingas, amongst others. Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna acted as the warrior prince, Arjuna's charioteer, in the great war, the battle of Kurukshetra between the Pandavas and Kauravas. It was the eve of this battle that Krishna recounted the sacred song of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Within, Lord Krishna highlights that the self is quite separate from the body and continues throughout time. Never was there a time I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to exist. It is in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna also states that all this universe has been created by me. All thing exists in me. Arjuna in the same work tells us that Krishna is divine, prior to the gods, unborn, omnipresent. Worship. The worship of Krishna may have started as early as the 5th century. Today, he is worshipped as the supreme Hindu by many believers, and he is especially revered in Bengal and Udupi in southern India. One of the many festivals held in his honor is the Ratha Yatra, chariot festival in Puri. Perhaps the most widely observed festival in the Krishna Janmashtami, which involves devotees fasting for 24 hours, offering milk sweets to the baby Krishna, and at midnight lighting wicks soaked in ghee in the ritual known as Arati. Krishna is typically portrayed in Hindu art with a dark skin, and he may carry the kakra, discus, vajranabha, and the club kaumodaki, both given to him by Agni. He typically wears a yellow robe, has a peacock feather in his long black hair, and commonly plays a flute. In reference to his occupation as a cowherd in his youth, Krishna is often accompanied with cows. The most powerful incarnation of Vishnu, the great exponent of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is one of the most powerful incarnations of Vishnu, the Godhead of the Hindu trinity of deities. Of all the Vishnu avatars, he is the most popular and perhaps of all Hindu gods, the one closest to the heart of the masses. Krishna was dark and extremely handsome. The word Krishna literally means black, and black also connotes mysteriousness. The importance of being Krishna. For generations, Krishna has been an enigma to some, but God to millions who go ecstatic even as they hear his name. People consider Krishna their leader, hero, protector, philosopher, teacher, and friend, all rolled into one. Krishna has influenced the Indian thought, life, and culture in myriad ways. He has influenced not only its religion and philosophy, but also into its mysticism and literature. painting and sculpture, dance and music, and all aspects of Indian folklore. The time of the Lord. Indian as well as Western scholars have now accepted the period between 3200 and 3100 BC as the period in which Lord Krishna lived on earth. Krishna took birth at midnight on the Astami or the 8th day of the Krishna Paksha or dark fortnight in the Hindu month of Shravan. The birthday of Krishna is called Janmashtami, Krishna Jayanthi, a special occasion for Hindus that is celebrated around the world. The birth of Krishna is in itself a transcendent phenomenon that generates awe among the Hindus. Baby Krishna, killer of evils. Stories about Krishna's exploits abound. Legends have it that on the very sixth day of his birth, Krishna killed Lady Daman Putna by sucking on her breasts. In his childhood, he also killed many other mighty demons such as Trunavarta, Keshi, Aristasur, Bakasur, Pralambasur. During the same period, he also killed Kali Nag and made the holy water of river Yamuna poison free. Krishna's childhood days. Krishna made cowherds happy by the bliss of his cosmic dances and the soulful music of his flute. He stayed in Gokul, the legendary cow village in northern India, for 3 years and 4 months. As a child, he was reputed to be very mischievous, stealing curd and butter and playing pranks with his girlfriends or gopis. Having completed his Leela or exploits at Gokul, he went to Vrindavan and stayed until he was 6 years and 8 months old. According to a famous legend, Krishna drove away from the monstrous serpent Kalya from the river to the sea. Krishna, according to another popular myth, lifted the Govardhana hill up with his little finger and held it like an umbrella to protect the people of Vrindavan from the torrential rain caused by Lord Indra. Then he lived in Nandagram till he was 10. Krishna's youth and education. Krishna then returned to Mathura, his birthplace, and killed his wicked maternal uncle King Kamsa along with all his cruel associates and liberated his parents from jail. He also reinstated Ugrasen as the king of Mathura. He completed his education and mastered the 64 sciences and arts in 64 days at Avantipura under his preceptor Sandipani. As Guru Dakshina or tuition fees, he restored Sandipani's dead son to him. He stayed in Madura till he was 28. Krishna, the king of Dwaraka. Krishna then came to the rescue of a clan of Yadava chiefs who were ousted by the king Jarasandha of Magadha. He easily triumphed over the multi-million army of Jarasandha by building an impregnable capital Dwaraka, the many-gated city on an island in the sea. The city located on the western point of Gujarat is now submerged in the sea according to the epic Mahabharatha. Krishna shifted as the story goes all his sleeping relatives and natives to Dwaraka by the power of his yoga. In Dwaraka, he married Rukmini, then Jambavati and Satyabhama. He also saved his kingdom from Narakasur. the demon king of Pragyotisapura, had abducted 16,000 princes. Krishna freed them and married them since they had nowhere else to go. Krishna, the hero of the Mahabharata. For many years, Krishna lived with the Pandava and Kaurava kings who ruled over Hastinapur. When a war was about to break out between the Pandavas and Kauravas, Krishna was sent to mediate but failed. War became inevitable and Krishna offered his forces to the Kauravas and himself agreed to join the Pandavas as the charioteer of the master warrior Arjuna. This epic battle of Kurukshetra, described in the Mahabharata, was fought in about 3000 BC. In the middle of the war, Krishna delivered his famous advice, which forms the crux of the Bhagavad Gita, in which he put forward the theory of Nishkam Karma, or action without attachment. Krishna's final days on earth. After the Great War, Krishna returned to Dwaraka. In his final days on earth, he taught spiritual wisdom to Uddhava, his friend and disciple, and ascended to his abode after casting off his body, which was shot at by a hunter named Jara. He is believed to have lived for 125 years. Whether he was a human being or a god incarnate, there is no gainsaying the fact that he has been ruling the hearts of millions for over 3 millennia. In the other words of Swami Harshananda, if a person can affect such a profound impact on the Hindu race, affecting its psyche and ethos and all aspects of its life for centuries, he is no less than God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.